Hello everyone, welcome to the day 30 of the Cyber Vakeel campaign launched by Cyber Jagrithi Foundation in collaboration with International Justice Mission. Today, we are having an amazing speaker with us discussing a very important topic which is the need of the hour, I strongly believe. Cyber trafficking. These days, you might have heard a lot of about human trafficking and many issues like that. But how is that in this digital world? Because you might have seen in this lockdown, we have been, totally digitalized. A lot of things we are doing in this digital platform. So to speak about that and to discuss about that, we are having an amazing speaker today, Dr. M. Devasitham ji. Dr. Devasitham ji is an associate director, strategic development at International Justice Mission, IJM, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He has been working in IJM for over 10 years. Motivated by his passion to serve marginalized communities, he joined IJM in the year 2010 and started his fight against human trafficking. He supported district administration and law enforcement officials to investigate, identify, and rescue victims of human trafficking across the country. Him being a part of a team in IJM rescued more than 3,500 victims of labor trafficking in collaboration with the local government and the police department. Passionate about protecting the vulnerable from violence in the context of human trafficking, he is committed to build the will and capacity of various government and non-government agencies through impactful trainings. He is instrumental in setting the anti-human trafficking help desk at Chennai Central Railway Station along with the government railway police in breaking down traffickers network. He also supported the government of Kerala in assessment and prevention of human trafficking during the devastating Kerala floods. He also successfully led interstate human trafficking rescue operations and is a member of police-led missing children investigation team in fewer states of India. And the list is very huge. So I request everyone to kindly pay attention while Sir is discussing about the topics, and please do post your questions in the comments or the live chat if you are having any. We'll take them all in the end. Now, I would request Dr. Devasitham ji to please take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Rupesh. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And also, thank you so much, the entire Cyber Jagrithi team, and for your excellent initiative on Cyber Vakeel, the 30 days campaign creating awareness on cyber crimes and other issues related to cyberspace, the general public. This is really need of the hour, especially during COVID-19. There is a very much need for people to understand what is cyberspace and how they need to be very careful in handling things on the cyberspace. So you are doing an excellent work by creating that awareness. So I would like to, on behalf of International Justice Mission, I would like to appreciate and thank all of you for this amazing campaign. And so I'm going to talk to you all about what is human trafficking and how human trafficking can happen on the cyberspace. If you give me 1 second, I will just share my screen.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes, thank you, Rupesh. So, International Justice Mission is a global organization working along with the government to protect poor from violence. In India, for the last 20 years, we've been closely associated with state and central government, working and combating two forms of human trafficking. One is trafficking for labor, also known as bonded labor. Second one is commercial sexual exploitation of minor in India. We also work with police, government officials, grassroots NGOs in identification, release, and rehabilitation of the victims of human trafficking, and also work towards prosecuting the offenders. And I'm very happy to share this. We've rescued more than 20,000 people in the last 20 years in collaboration with the government. We also involve capacity building and developing a new project in combating human trafficking in different part of it. I've been working in IJM for the last 10 years. In my last 10 years, I supported government officials, especially law enforcement officials, in identification, release, rehabilitation of human trafficking victims. Friends, most of the victims who were rescued, they're very happy that government rescued them, but the regular thing that we get to hear from them is that they wish they know about this issue, human trafficking, so that they would have protected themselves. And that is one reason International Justice Mission taking every single opportunity and all the possibilities so that we can create awareness of this issue, human trafficking, so people will be very careful in understanding what is human trafficking, and so that they don't get trapped, the trap that is spread by the human traffickers. What is human trafficking? I really want you all of you to know what is human trafficking. Friends, this is my favorite definition, and very simple definition you need to know. Human trafficking is simply means illegal trade of human beings. Friends, if you take any business, any trade for matter, you have three product in three component is must. One is the seller, second one is a buyer, third one is the product. The three things are very important for any trade, any business. The same way, even in the issue of human trafficking, there is a buyer who is actually creating a big demand for humans. There is a seller who go victimize the vulnerable victims, vulnerable humans. Could be women, men, children, anybody it can be. They victimize them, and they sell them. And humans are actually treated like a commodities, like a product. The issue of human trafficking, friends. We are not talking about a small issue. Human trafficking is the second largest crime in the world, next to weapon trafficking. And even in India, it's a $150 billion business per year, according to International Labour Organization. And it's not only it's happening in India. It's a global issue across the countries. None of the countries are immune to this. Everybody is actually facing this issue, and everybody coming up with different ideas, techniques, technologies, so that they can combat the issues. And according to UNICEF, 2 million people are trafficked every year. Out of 2 million, 1.5 million are children. According to International Labour Organization, almost 1.2 million people who are trafficked are children. This includes boys and girls, and they are actually trafficked into an exploitative industries or sectors like agriculture, mining, factories, commercial sexual exploitation. These are the major sectors where the children are trafficked every year. Even according to the National Crime Records Bureau's report, a crime report released in the year 2016, it says that 1 year alone, more than 8,000 plus cases of human trafficking is registered in India. And what is important is, when it compared to the previous year, 2015, it is 18% increase. A crime that shows 18% increase in a year is something that we need to be very concerned about. And this is the state-wise picture of how the human trafficking cases are registered. Actually, it starts with high number is registered with West Bengal, 3,579 cases, and it tops the human trafficking case in the country. If you take the note from United Nations Office of Drugs and Crimes, UNODC, vast majority of the victims trafficked in the year 2018 are women and children. Friend, there is a high demand for children. There is a high demand for children in labor trafficking as well as sex trafficking. And most of them are vulnerable. Almost 71% of the people who are trafficked are women and girls. And the reason is there is high demand for women and children in different sectors that comes under human trafficking. The majority one is commercial sexual exploitation, but that's not limited. It could be sex tourism, it could be beggary, it could be small industry that's employed children, for example, tobacco, BD making, different industry and bangle making, and and jewel making units. These are the places where there is high demand for children when it comes to labor trafficking. Most of the women and children are trafficked for commercial sexual exploitation. Men or boys also trafficked into labor industry. Sometimes, the moment we think of human trafficking, we always connect the issue with women and girls. We never think of the boys and the men. But friends, you need to know men are preferred for labor trafficking issues because it's hard labor, and the traffickers are constantly looking for men to employ them. And before we go into the understand how human trafficking happen in the cyberspace, we need to know what is our law says about human trafficking. According to Indian Penal Code IPC 370, it clearly says any person is recruited, transported, harbored, transferred, receives a person using threat, force, coercion, abduction, fraud, deception, abuse of power, inducement, giving or receiving of any payments or benefit for the purpose of exploitation. This person is considered as a victim of human trafficking. IPC 370 further actually explains the 370 is not only, the exploitation is not generalized. It is also broken down very clearly. It could be physical exploitation. It could be like organ exploitation. It could be sexual exploitation. It clearly defines what is this exploitation means. So any person is actually recruited, transported, harbor using all these means for the purpose of exploitation. Because sometimes there is a small clarity needed. Because sometimes they said, I kidnapped this person. If there is an exploitation involved, then it actually constitutes the issue of human trafficking. Friends, why humans are trafficked? There are three major purposes why humans are trafficked. It's begin with labor trafficking. Humans are trafficked for labor exploitation. Second one is humans are trafficked for sexual exploitation. The third one is humans are trafficked for organ trafficking, organ exploitation. So generally, we think of people, this issue, one thing that comes to our mind, I know some of you who is attending this, maybe work an NGO that is working in the issue of human trafficking, or NGO that is supporting the government to combat the issue of human trafficking. But for those who don't know about what is human trafficking, generally when we think of what is human trafficking, we always, one thing that comes to our mind is there is a fear of people come to a village, just tie the mouth, rope and all this, they just disappear, put the girls in the car and they disappear. That is the only image that comes to our mind. No, friends. From today onwards, we need to think little differently. Human trafficking is not a single person issue. Human trafficking is a well-organized issue. There is a well-organized network behind every single cases of human trafficking. If you see my slide, it all started with a person spotter. They're the one who actually identify the vulnerable victims. It could be economically vulnerable, it could be socially vulnerable. They will look for a people in person, also online. They start spotting them and they start recruiting them. And they also, once they finalize the person, deceive them using different, like most of the times, the victims of human trafficking are lured or deceived by saying some exciting job opportunity or sometimes exciting skill-based offer, or like a acting opportunities. And sometimes they also said, like, this well-paid job, well-settled job. These are the common thing that used by the trafficker too. So once they actually deceive these victims and they slowly sell them, and there is a purchaser involved, and once they finalize, they are also transported involved. The children that is actually trafficked from one state to one state, it takes just 3 to 4 hours to traffic them to another state, transport them to other state. So they're very fast. And there is an abuser, there is a customer in our terms, there is an abuser who's an exploiter, and there is a financier who's actually pay a lot of money to create a demand and bring the girls or bring the children or bring the families to be employed in labor exploitation. And there is a custodian, a keeper, there is a contractor, a harbor, the person who actually keep all the victims in one particular place. From there, they will be sent to different places. So it's not a single person issue. There's a big network involved in every single issue. And next time when you identify a case or working on human trafficking case, I request you to look into this perspective so that we can arrest more perpetrator. We can inform the government, police officials that there is not only this person, there's more people behind this. So please take an action to arrest them. And the next one, friends, how human trafficking is happening on cyberspace. As everybody knows, there are 326.1 million people in India using social media. I'm just taking some examples. And out of which, almost 164.81 million people that use social media are teens and students. And every time we think of it, we always think, okay, I am on a social media. I'm going to send a message to my friend. I'm going to send I'm posting my picture so that my friends see it, my family members see it, or my distant relatives or my relatives in other country get to see it. That's an excuse that we all say, but that's okay. That is totally fine. I'm not against technology. But friends, from today onwards, I request you to understand the social media space is also, the cyberspace is also shared by criminals. It's also shared by pedophiles. It's also shared by abusers, frauds, and human traffickers. Please take some times to, even before you share any status, pictures, or your selfie on the social media or any cyberspace, please think for a moment. You're not sharing that with your close one. You're also sharing that with criminals. And then, friends, during this COVID-19, this is the interesting data that came out from a study that says there is a more than 36% increase in people using mobile apps. It's especially during this COVID-19. People have started using, 47% of people started using social media than the regular time. 46% of those people started using messenger services like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, Instagram, a lot of other things. Almost 57% of people have started watching movies and shows. Friends, if you know how to use cyberspace, good. If those people who started using newly, who was not aware of cyberspace and the issues that is going to happen in the cyber side, and they are highly vulnerable for cyber crimes and also human cyber trafficking. Now I'll tell you how the cyber trafficking is happening. What are the different forms the human traffickers are utilizing social media or a cyberspace to lure the victims, and how the victims are approached by the traffickers. Let's see how it's happened. Friends, in Tamil Nadu, there is a case. It's actually handled by the Tamil Nadu police. That's an excellent job in nabbing down this network of human traffickers. It was very interesting. There is a person called Venkatesh. Friends, you don't believe he employed 30 tech-savvy team that works for him. The 30 people's everyday job is to create a fake account, go into the account, make friends on social media of girls, especially girls who actually share a short video. That was their trend. That was their target people. One of the common ruse story that used by this trafficking network, they use saying that they're actually identifying girls for a film industries. So they're looking for some girls. They can be modeled or they can be act in movies in across the country. So when a girl posts any common videos on any social media platform or any social cyberspace, they just get the video, start sending an anonymous messages saying that you look beautiful, you can be a good movie star. If you are interested, let me know. I can I can connect you with some big directors and peoples. The moment the girl fall for this trap, what has happened next is they actually send them some gift, like nice dress, or some vacation travels, or some even mobile phones. The moment the girls receive this and started, they slowly, building some emotional trust. The moment they completely believe this guy is a well-rich guy who's actually working in the film industry, and then what happens is they slowly start, chatting with them, and their cyberspace connection actually turn into an in-person connection, and they start traveling. Friends, what the sad news is, once a girl believes these guys, and they were asked to come out of their family, come to a common places, from there they're taken and sold to different people. and most of the girl, almost 20 girls, 20 girls, by the time the police rescued them, the 20 girls has been victimized and been sold in commercial sexual industry in the film world. This is a real story that happened. And I'm going to give you more real stories so that you can understand this better, so how we can be safe. Sharing photos and videos on networks. Next one is it's one of the another common trap that used by the trafficker on using social media, cyberspace is exciting job opportunities. Friends, sometimes you think only people who don't, uneducated or not don't know about anything will get trapped by the trafficker. No, even an educated person. According to this news article, Bangalore airport authorities rescued more than 32 Kerala nurses, and they were rescued them because all the Kerala nurses, they just completed their nursing course. And they were on their way to Armenia to study a foreign language because the trafficker who's taking them informed them that they're going to Armenia to study German language. From that, they will be sent to different country for nursing job because it's important for them to learn one extra international language. Completely trusting this person. Almost 32 Kerala recently graduated nurses started following them, following the traffickers. And at the airport, they were stopped, and the police asked them, the trafficker doesn't have information, and the people also who are traveling have zero knowledge what is they going to do after that. They're traveling to Armenia, and that's when they found out it was a complete trap by a trafficker. Then the commissioner, deputy commissioner Bangalore, arrested the trafficker at this. Sometimes you wonder like how they get my numbers, how they get my email IDs. Friends, one of the simple ways that they get your number is traffickers iron recharge stores. When you actually enter online portals to recharge or in person, recharge shop, when you just write your number and come, that's one of the places where they get numbers. And there are a lot of online portals that gives your contact number just like that. Most of you also receive a short messages like this, which actually a trap. Without knowing that, you click into it and started paying a lot of money. I just wanted to add one more example. Recently, there was a case where the people are trapped by saying that they were actually, they're trying to recruit people to work in an airport because they projected themselves as a government employee from a government sector. They're actually employing people to work in an airport. That was a recent scam that is going on during this COVID-19 situation. The next one I'm going to talk about is a talent-based offer. This has also happened, it was an interesting case where happened in Chennai, where people from Mumbai, they actually set up a nice dance choreography school where there is a 4 dance master was teaching the young kids about dance and music and other things. Almost after trusting a lot of trust with them and building emotional relationship and promising them that they will be taken to different countries to perform and show their talent. And they were actually brought all the way from Mumbai to Chennai airport. From Chennai, they were about to be trafficked to different countries. And they were arrested in Chennai, and they found out and these dance masters or choreographer also involved in this kind of scam. All these children who were involved in these things are just sent a message. They all got to reach out to this dance club through a message or through a WhatsApp message or through a Facebook Messenger things. Because the moment you update your Facebook saying that you are a good dancer, the moment you update your Facebook profiles or any social media profile saying that you are good with playing singing, good with things, it's not bad that you're sharing your talent, but you need to be very careful when you are approached by stranger for an in the umbrella of giving you an opportunity. Friends, next one is this is one of the common thing that's happening on all the social networking sites. It's called Lover Boy. It's also known as Romeo, online Romeos. Their job is to just get online, especially look for girls, look for especially teen girls, started investing, and slowly invest them. It's sometimes even their investment goes to 6 to 1 year. So make sure they trust this girl, get the trust, win the trust of this girl, and slowly build the emotional relationship, saying that they are going to marry them. That's how it actually starts. They say that, I'm the only person can take care of you well. Your parents are not taking care of you. You look bored. Your school is trying to not supporting you. You're not doing well, but I can take care of you, and I think I'm in love with you. I'll marry you. This is how it slowly construct their relationship. And at one fine time, when the child is completely trust this person, and then the child just step out of the family, and it will travel to the places where these traffickers want them to come. And slowly it is actually one of the trap by the pimps, or one of the trap by people who are working in commercial sexual industries to trap the victim. So slowly they will take this victim and commercially sexually exploit them. And then recently, there are a lot of dating apps also doing the same. If I don't want to mention names, Tinder, a lot of other things are coming up. You know about it better than me. But please be careful when you are actually using dating apps, because some of the apps can give you how many people living just 1 kilometer radius. If you log in as a girl, it will show you the boys. If you log in as a boys, it will show you the girls. But what one thing is very common is, friends, if you the moment you enter your data, the moment you enter your location, that's it. It's people can know you that you are just staying 500 meters away, which is not safe. And they use every tactics, your what's happening in your own neighborhood to trap you down. Be careful. The second one is matrimonial sites targets. Friends, I'm not against any of these sites. They're doing excellent work in connecting, but sometimes traffickers, cyber criminals use these places also to traffic, lure victims. I remember there was a case where a person started actually connecting with the girl, and he completely believed it was a girl, and he started sharing all his off nude picture, of and then all the personal details to this person, not knowing that he thought it's a very genuine girl is actually chatting from other side. And the girl also said that I don't want to show my face because my family is very orthodox. I don't want it to show. Keep saying this. Completely cheated this guy for almost 2 to 3 months, and he took all the pictures. And once they shared the same pictures back to him, saying that if he's not giving so much of money, then it will be actually shared online. He was clueless. He was completely believed that is a girl chatting with him, but not knowing what's going to happen in the future. It was one of the traps. So please know this. Then next one is cyber grooming. So that's actually very common among the young teen, especially children. If you are a parent who are watching this webinar, friends, I really wanted to give you this advice. Please take time to check your children's mobile phone, or when you actually give your mobile phone for teaching, because nowadays due to COVID, the children are attending online classes, friends. But it's okay. I'm not against online learning, but what I'm against is when you give your phone completely not checking. When you give your phone with all your credit card details are included in. So please create some safe mechanism, like put a password, or create a parental care app that only allow few apps for your children to access. So this, especially this process, cybercrime, the traffickers or any cyber criminal slowly begin relationship stage. They started connecting with your child, your daughter, slowly says that they're the one who take care of them and they would like to friend with them. And slowly that's how it begins, and slowly it's getting into, they would like to know the parents, though the trafficker or cyber criminal slowly ask them, okay, is your parents going to see or read what is we are chatting? Are you sharing everything what we are sharing? The moment they said no, we are not, and then they slowly take the advantage of the child and slowly isolate them. They'll say that don't tell this to your mom, don't tell this to your dad. We become very close friends. Keep it confidential. That's how it's told. And slowly they ask the child to send the pictures, and they'll ask the child to send the thigh picture, hand picture, head, and slowly, they get all this picture. At one point, they started sharing the same back with the child, saying that if you're not sending this, started blackmailing, started abusing them. If you're not sharing your nude video, then I am going to share this with your parents. If you're not sharing this, in some cases they are also asked for money. If you're not giving money like 10,000 rupees, So that's how this the child grooming process happened. Friends, let me tell you, and according to one of the international organization research, it says in every given time there are more than 12,000 pedophiles are online. They're constantly looking for an opportunity to get to a child and started abuse them, on the cyber platform. So please be careful. The next one is sexting. It's getting very common among children, especially children who are going school going children, or the children who are people who just join colleges. They slowly it start like a fun. You think, okay, sexting is a fun. You start sending that, but you don't know where your sexting messages are going to. Sometimes using the fake ID, you will be sexting this. You will be sexting to. You think it's an unknown person, but I remember a case where the person actually started chatting like their own friends. And then what happened one day? They recorded the entire conversation starting till the end. This with that girl's name on it. And they made it as a little video, sent it back to this girl saying that, all your ugly chat, all your off naked pictures, all your wordings and all the images are recorded here. If you're not sharing, if you're not taking in like a 5 minutes nude video and send it to me, then it will be posted on your social media account. Because that's all called as extortion. Sometimes we think it's a simple, just text, just make you feel happy for a moment, but sometimes that is going to result or cost you so much more than what you were actually thinking. And friends, this is something that is evolving right now, and the danger of online games. Sometimes you might wonder, like, how comes our games to do with trafficking, games to do with cyber crimes? But friends, most of the games now comes with an online platform, and it requires you to log in. You need to play online. But when you play games, you will be playing with strangers. I'm not just saying games are played only by boys. The girls also involved in this. When they start playing games with the strangers and then slowly become friends, and that's how every day you become addicted to the game. Every day you wanted to call this person and you want to play with them. Sometimes that is the small thing that the trafficker wanted. They want you to become close to them, trust them. The moment you call them for a game, they will willing to come and play with you. And unknowingly, by the time you realize that was a trap, they will actually, put you in a trap and victimize you and put you in this exploitative condition. And friends, here is a little common also, because sometimes the games, the cyber criminals, especially when it comes to online games, it's not only about trafficking, it's not only about sex, it's also for money. We need to be very careful on this line. Next one is online sexual exploitation of children. It's one of the common things rising up across the globe, where the children are exploited in one country. It is live streamed, and the customers from other countries are watching and demanding for some sexual act, paying a lot of money on this. If your child, if you're not, taking care of your child, maybe our child also be victimized by this victim, these traffickers, and being, preyed on all these pedophiles across the globe. And friends, these are the common things that is utilized under human trafficking. These are the majority of the ruse things that used by. It could be a pleasure trip. You'll be approached by a stranger by saying that you win a pleasure trip in cyberspace, or they say like in a job in film industry, and you're selected to be a model in one particular contest. I could be acting, parlor, matrimonial site, online sex tourism, false promises for marriages, befriending by giving goodies, dance through placement agency, etc., etc. Sometimes, in order to build your trust, they also claim themselves that they are actually calling from government. Especially during this pandemic situation, government is taking a lot of measures so that they're providing a lot of benefit for vulnerable people so that they can actually economically strengthen. But the same thing also utilized for bad purposes. The online criminals have started calling people using government name to lure the victims. In one of the case that we have recently seen, where they said that they're calling from government, they wanted to give them a big benefit. Before that, they need to be paid some money. So these are the recent cases that we are hearing. But most of the times when it comes to human trafficking, these are the common tricks that used by the traffickers, to lure the victims. Friends, Sometimes you wonder these traffickers are come from somewhere else with all the hoodies sitting in front of the computer. No, if you see the report released in NCRB 2017, almost 14.70 percentage of the criminals are their own neighbors, their own friends, their own relatives. I'm not going into detail of all the other things, but if you see majority, more 14 percentage is the neighbors, the friends and relatives. So we need to be very careful when it comes to cyberspace. Who are we trusting? Who are we trusting? Let me finish my presentation by mentioning about Ria. Ria is one of the human trafficking victims rescued from commercial sexual exploitation. Initially, she was told there was an interesting job opportunity that's happening, that is open, and she can actually use her school leave time to actually join there for the work and earn some money. But once she reached Karnataka from West Bengal, she realized it was a trap. And by the time she realized, Ria was sold to several customers who brutally raped her. Who brutally raped her. And after that, she was completely threatened, saying all the pictures of her rape, all the pictures, videos will be sent to her family if she's not, supporting that pimp. And later, the government take a very proactive measure to rescue her. And when she was rescued, these are her words. She said, "I wish I was told about this issue. I would have protected myself from these predators, the human traffickers." Friends, I don't want any more Ria to be rescued, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to take every opportunity to create awareness of the issue human trafficking. Friends, whatever I shared so far, most of it is real stories that, almost like 80% of the cases that we are personally involved and our NGOs are involved. So these are the real stories that we presented here. The reason is so that we can learn from this, so that we don't want to create any more RIAs in our country. We wanted to be safe. Thank you. Thank you, Rupesh, and the entire Cyber Jagrithi team for this excellent initiative to create awareness on cyber crimes and cyber trafficking to the general public. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor to hear from you, sir. And I think the points which you mentioned are clearly the need of the hour, and every individual here who is watching us, I request them also to spread at least a small word, because when you're sending a good morning message in your WhatsApp groups, or many people follow those, you send a good morning, or you send good night email messages, or you keep status of good evening, good morning, or something, greetings, like say any greetings. If everyone of us start posting a little information about these crimes which are happening, then only we can make a safe cyberspace. Because it's not only with us as Cyber Jagrithi team or with the International Justice Mission, it is only possible if we all together join our hands and spread the awareness. Now and I know, but the people who weren't aware of this session, or who weren't aware of this the negative side of this social media, or say this cyberspace, can be a victim of this cybercrime, or this kind of, not only this cyber trafficking, there are many other cyber crimes which in this whole month we have been discussing about them. So anyone can be victim of any of those. So once again, I request everyone to please spread this message, and also thank Dr. Devasitham sir for joining us and taking out time out of his busy schedule. Actually, it on a very short notice, sir has accepted our request and joined us and shared amazing knowledge with everyone. I'm blessed actually to hear about, because I also learned many things from here personally. These all options are also happening, and various case studies which are live. Those are not all bluff for creator stories, those are all real life stories. I think you might have seen there were newspaper clippings in that, so which means that they were totally true stories, and everyone should take these issues very seriously, and do use your internet platforms in a wise way and use it in a positive way. Do not First thing is, not only on internet, if let's take it in a different way. In this in this digital world when you're living, you cannot trust anyone. So it's not that you have met someone online. If you're meeting someone offline also, trust factor, has gone very, very far. So it's not easy, or it's not recommended to trust anything very easily. Do cross check or do cross verify whatever information or whomever you are interacting with is a genuine thing, or a trap or a false thing or anything like that. So thank you so much, sir. From on behalf of the Cyber Jagrithi team and the Cyber Vakeel team, I thank you a lot for joining us and spreading amazing things with us, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Rupesh. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.